This is our week 3 practice for our hypertension therapy group. If you have not already taken the chance to measure your blood pressure, I ask that you go ahead and do so, record that, and then keep your cuff close by. We'll use it at the end of this practice. If you would like to grab some props, a few things we'll use. I have a pillow from like the couch. You can grab whatever size pillow you'd like. I also have a small blanket. And if you want to grab a few props, you can. And also remember, if you're more comfortable doing this pose on a softer place than the floor, feel free to use your bed or carpeted surface or to put several mats together. I have my mat resting about 6 inches away from some wall space. If wall space is not accessible for you, feel free to use a chair to create the same effect that we'll have with that. We'll be using the wall for one pose, and it's always a nice option for your Shavasana if you are someone that likes to practice legs up the wall. We don't necessarily need anything like blocks or books, but if you would like to grab something like that, feel free to do so. And then when you're ready, join us with your props, have your blood pressure taken. You can press pause and come back. So we will begin with some belly breathing. So I like to think about resting my hands on the belly. And as we inhale, we think about blowing the belly up like a balloon. And as we exhale, it shrinks back down. If you're comfortable closing your eyes while we practice this, it's a great way to add a little extra sensation. And then we'll let our breath come to a more natural state and move into our mudra. So our mudra for this week, we will interlace the fingers. We'll let the index fingers stay out and they will press the tips together. And then our thumbs just rest gently on each other. This is traditionally done with the index fingers pointed towards the earth. It's supposed to make us think about letting go, releasing things towards the earth. And if that's not comfortable for you, you could always bring them to rest at the belly or just comfortable on the lap. We'll take a few breaths here with our mudra and begin to maybe create a mantra. So a few sample mantras might be to inhale as you say the word let, to exhale as you say the word go. We're going to focus on letting go this week, releasing anything that doesn't serve us. Another mantra you might choose is I am enough. I can. I am strong and confident. So another thing I'd like you to practice here with your breath, you can release your mudra or keep it going. I want you to close your eyes and take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, exhale with a sigh, maybe a loud sigh. And then just take note of what you feel in the body with that sigh. Maybe you need to do it again. Maybe inhaling, exhale. Notice if that creates a physical sensation in your body, a release of tension or anything else. Feel free to add that to your day if you would like. As we settle in, we will begin to count backwards from 10 to 0. And each number will be an inhale. And with each breath, we will invite ourselves to feel just a little more relaxed. So we all breathe at a different pace. If you reach 0 before me, that's fine. You can go ahead and start over. If you don't reach 0 when I'm finished, that's fine as well. come back to awareness. We'll move to our first pose. Our first pose is going to be a restorative version of our knees to chest. So if you are in your bed or not, or you have access to the wall, maybe you use your blanket or your pillow and let it come underneath your low back, just to elevate those sits bones a bit off the ground. We'll invite the knees to the chest. They can hang out a little bit, nice and heavy. Another option here, and you can do this with or without the blanket, if you have the wall space, is to keep the lower body, the sits bones, about a foot away from the wall, so we're nice and relaxed, and we just let the feet rest along the wall. And we might slide the feet down. That might feel better to come in. We might decide to add that layer underneath. We'll settle ourselves into this pose. Enjoy the way that we have chosen to practice it, and know that we can make small adjustments if needed. We'll take a couple more breaths here, and then you can decide how much energy you want to put into moving into our next pose. It is simply going to be a supine twist. So if you want to stay facing your wall and just bring your legs lower, you can. We are going to simply let the legs fall to one side, and we will offer them whatever support we need. So maybe we stack the blanket and the pillow underneath the legs. Maybe we're more comfortable putting another layer between the knees. We'll try to let our upper back stay in alignment with our hips. Your arms can go wherever you feel more comfortable. It can feel like more of a release if we turn the palms up and let the shoulders rotate open. But for some of us, that isn't comfortable, so we prefer to let the hands rest in a different position. And we'll take a few breaths with the legs on this side. If the mind starts to wander, feel free to come back into your intentional breath work or to add your mantra. And then when you're ready, maybe offering the outer leg a little support from the hand. We'll bring the legs back to center first. We can move our props, and then we'll let the knees fall the opposite direction. So if you need to make other adjustments in your body, feel free to do so. The way you support the legs might look totally different as well. So from this twist, we will make our way to a seated position and then eventually to our bellies. So sometimes it's easier to let the legs fall completely to one side, let the torso turn as well, and then use that top hand to press into the earth or the mat or your bed and sitting up. We'll make our way from here into a half frog pose. Perhaps rolling up your blankets, or you could use a soft pillow here for this. We're going to bring it to the right side of our mats, and then we will use our other pillow or support to let the upper body be more comfortable. So we'll let ourselves be in a long position on our mat. We're going to bring one knee, whichever side you're facing, to that blanket or support, and then we let the upper body get comfortable. So there's a lot of ways to support the head and the upper body. You find what works for you. Sometimes we like to keep the head face down. Sometimes we want to turn to face one direction. So I just invite you to notice those subtle differences, like if you're facing a direction, so that you can switch when we switch legs. We can make adjustments with the knee. We can slide it higher or lower. We can walk the foot away or towards the body. All of those will change the sensation a little bit, invite the center of the body to release to the earth, and again, coming back into those mental hacks if we need to, adding our breath work or our mantra. So we will switch sides. For some of us, that might mean we switch our bodies. For others, it might mean we switch our props. So go ahead and just take a moment to set up the other side as well. Settle in. as you complete this side of the pose, we'll gently release the leg to start, and then I always like to offer the use of the hands under the shoulders, nice and gentle, pressing ourselves up. If you'd like to find a quick child's pose, that can be a nice counter pose to create in between. From here, we will go to our last pose of our practice. It will be on our backs. If you want to go ahead and grab anything you need, perhaps your blood pressure cuff, or if you want to add some socks or anything, sometimes we get kind of cool in our final relaxation. And this will be a restorative bridge. So I am going to use my blanket and my pillow, stack them up just a little bit higher. In a traditional class, we often use something like a block. So if you wanted to grab a book or something like that, you could, but you don't necessarily need a hard surface. We're just going to elevate those sits bones so that they're a little bit higher than our shoulders. So wherever feels best for you. You may decide you want another blanket to cover up with, or an eye pillow. If you're comfortable, again, rotating those hands so the palms face the sky, that can add a little shoulder opening. We'll take a few moments in this pose. So if you would like to stay in this pose for final relaxation, feel free to do so. We will go ahead and put our blood pressure cuffs on so that we're able to measure our blood pressure when we're done. If you'd like to find a different pose, you can. I am going to sit up because I'm going to read a guided meditation, but you are going to be as relaxed as you can be. So that might mean we cover ourselves up. It might mean we press pause and climb into bed, or we can choose legs up the wall. We can support ourselves with those props in any way that feels good. So go ahead and let yourself get comfortable. And then once you are in that state, we will close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. Relax the breath. Relax the eyes. Relax the face. Relaxing the whole body. Allowing your breath to center you in this very moment. Breathing in, breathing out. Start to imagine that you hear the sound of wind chimes in the distance. And picturing yourself in a sunny field. The afternoon sunlight dances across the tall grasses. As you gaze across the field, you see there's beautiful sunflowers everywhere. And somehow you get the feeling as though you have been here before. Perhaps it feels so familiar, you think that you have come here often. You choose a favorite sunflower and you stop to admire it, as though it was meant for you. You study the inner part of the flower. Maybe you notice a circular pattern. Maybe that pattern allows you to think about the circle of life, and to think about how everything is connected. Breathing in, breathing out, feeling connected. Connected to everyone and everything in a new way. Studying this sunflower, you see the universe in a new way. You know that you matter, and you know you can radiate that same feeling to others. You're breathing in and out, feeling so relaxed that you almost don't notice where one breath begins and another one ends. Perhaps you begin to imagine a warm yellow glow. Maybe it's the same color as one of the sunflowers, or the sunlight. And you allow this glow to move deep into your belly. We'll begin to let that glow radiate throughout the body, moving into the hips, knees, ankles, soles of the feet, tops of the feet. Warm yellow light radiating out through the toes. It shines into the center of the heart and then gradually moves to the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the palms of the hands, the backs of the hands. Feel that warm yellow glow shine through the fingertips. It warms and radiates into the back of the neck, the back of the head, the crown, the forehead, both temples, both eyes, both ears, either side of the jaw, the nose, the upper and lower lip, to the chin, and the front of the neck, allowing the entire body to be filled with warm, radiant, yellow light. You continue to breathe in and breathe out, continuing to feel connected and relaxed. And as we end our meditation and our practice, I invite you to again measure your blood pressure while you're in this relaxed state. And then feel free to stay here as long as you would like, enjoying your breath.